Hey kids, I'm Polly the paleontologist. Are you ready for an adventure today? Well, I have a special field trip set up for you. Doing well? Before we get started, paleontology is the study of animals, plants, and other organisms that lived so many years ago. And I want to take you along with me, so let's get going, kiddos. Woohoo! What is a fossil? A fossil is preserved remains of once living organisms. What do fossils tell us? Fossils give clues about organisms that lived long ago. They help to show that evolution has occurred. They also provide evidence about how Earth's surface has changed over time. Fossils also help scientists understand what past environments may have been like. Like if there was a fish, back then they can know what the fish looks like now. It's pretty incredible, scientists. Well, how are fossils formed then? First, there's some sediment. An animal is buried by sediment such as volcanic ash or silt. Shortly after it dies, its bones are protected from rotting by the layer of sediment. Wow. Part 2. Layers. More sediment layers cover up the animal and accumulate above the animal's remains and minerals such as silica. Slowly replace the calcium phosphate in the bones. Number 3. Movement. Movement of tectonic plates, or giant rock slabs that make up the Earth's surface, lifts up the sediment and pushes the fossil closer to the surface. Erosion is the last effect on how fossils are formed. Erosion from rain, rivers, and winds wears away the remaining rock layers. Eventually, erosion or people digging for fossils will expose the preserved remains. We have 5 types of fossils. Let me tell you about them. First, let's look at the petrified fossils. The word petrified means turning into stone. Petrified fossils form when minerals replace all or part of an organism. Okay, now explorers, let's look at carbon films. All living things contain an element called carbon. When an organism dies and is buried in sediment, the materials that make up the organism break down. Eventually, only carbon remains. The thin layer of carbon left behind can show an organism's delicate parts, like leaves on a plant, for example. Mold and casts. A mold forms when hard parts of an organism are buried in sediment, such as sand, silt, or clay. The hard parts completely dissolve over time, leaving behind a hollow area with the organism's shape. A cast forms as a result of a mold. Water with dissolved minerals and sediments fill the mold's empty spaces. Minerals and sediments are therefore left in the mold and make a case. A case is the opposite of its mold. Trace fossils show the activities of an organism. An animal makes a footprint when it steps in sand or mud. Over time, the footprint is buried in layers of sediment. Then the sediment becomes solid rock, and left behind is a cool-looking footprint. Preserved remains. Some organisms get preserved in or close to their original state.
Hey kids, I'm Big Al the Allosaurus. My nickname is Different Lizard. You know, I lived about 160 million years ago during the Jurassic period, and I was very big. I was 35 to 40 feet long as 2 pig python snakes. That's incredible. And I weighed over 2 tons to over 5 tons. I was so large. And you know what? I had characteristics, and there were things about me I'm gonna tell y'all. So I had sharp claws that I used to rip my food up, and they were 6 inches long. Teeth up to 4 inches long. Man, I was a predator. And guess what? I lived in Utah just like you do, but I lived so many years ago.
The Allosaurus was designated the Utah State Fossil in 1988. More Allosauruses have been found around Utah than any other dinosaurs. In fact, in just one site, there were 60 dinosaurs found in that one spot.
Once again, my name is Big Al the Allosaurus. Stay tuned for next time, kids. This is the end of your tour. Goodbye now.